Hello and welcome to Nikolai's genetics lessons, and today's question: what pattern of inheritance does this trait show? And what variants we have? For example, it can be mitochondrial genetic disorder. In this case, for example, if mother would have this genetic disorder, all her progeny are going to have this genetic disorder. And also in this family, all the progeny are going to have this genetic disorder. We also may have Y chromosome related genetic disorder. In this case, this would be passed only from father to son, and we do not see this pattern here. It also can be X-linked dominant or recessive. Let's assume that this is X-linked recessive genetic disorder. Then genotype of this female is going to be 2 defective X chromosomes here, and genotype of the male here is going to be normal X and normal Y chromosome. The son of this couple from the father only can get Y chromosome. This specifies his maleness, so he only can get Y chromosome from his father. That means that the second X chromosome he have to get, or second sex chromosome he can get only from his mother's side, and both of them are defective. So his genotype is going to be defective X and normal Y chromosome. Because males are hemizygous, male should express this genetic disorder even having only one chromosome, defective X chromosome with recessive allele on it. But we see that this phenotype of this male is normal. So this is not X-linked recessive genetic disorder. Now let's assume that this is X-linked dominant genetic disorder. In this case, this female can be heterozygous, so one chromosome can be defective, another normal. Not of course the whole chromosome, just one gene on this chromosome. And genotype of the male is going to be normal X and normal Y chromosome. Now let's assume that this female got from the mother side normal X chromosome, so normal X chromosome, and from the father side she only can get normal X chromosome, so that explains her normal phenotype. Now let's assume that this female here got from the mother side defective X chromosome, and from the father side she only can get normal X chromosome, but because we assume that this is X-linked dominant genetic disorder, she is going to express this genetic disorder just like her mother. Their son are going to get from father side Y chromosome. There is no choice here. And from mother side he can get any of this. And because his phenotype normal, we assume that he got this normal X chromosome. Now here we have to assume that this male got from his mother defective X chromosome. That's why his phenotype is affected. So defective X and normal Y chromosome that he got from his father's side. So defective X, we assume normal X genotype here. Now what we see here, this pattern doesn't support the idea that this is X-linked dominant genetic disorder, because for example this daughter can inherit normal X chromosome from the mother's side, but there is no way how this daughter may inherit normal X chromosome from the father's side. So she would inherit this defective X chromosome from the father's side, and because this is X-linked dominant genetic disorder, she have to be affected. So this is not X-linked dominant genetic disorder. Now let's assume that this is autosomal recessive genetic disorder. In this case, genotype of this female have to be small a, and genotype of this male have to be small a. And there is no way that we would see normal phenotype in their progeny, because both alleles are defective. So there is no way of appearance normal allele, or even if such thing possible as mutation from defective back to normal, but there is no way that it's going to happen twice in the same couple, because this is very rare mutation which restore normal phenotype. So the only variant left that this is autosomal dominant genetic disorder, and genotype of this male is going to be small a. This is normal phenotype. And genotype of this female is going to be heterozygous. One dominant allele would produce this genetic disorder. And genotype of this female is going to be heterozygous. We also can assume that she is homozygous, but in this case, if both alleles would be dominant, 100% of her progeny are going to be affected. But we see that only 50%, so only one allele have to be dominant, which produce this pattern. And we know that genotype of those with normal phenotype have to be two recessive alleles which produce normal phenotype. One they got from the father side, another from the mother side. So, and genotype of those who are affected have to be heterozygous. They got defective allele from the mother side and normal allele from the father side. So genotype of this female also have to be heterozygous, and genotype of this female have to be heterozygous, homozygous recessive for her siblings. Now we can explain normal phenotype of this female, for example, here, that she got normal recessive allele from the mother side and normal recessive allele from the father side. So her genotype is small a, and her phenotype is normal. The same we can see here. This male also got recessive allele from the mother side and from the father side, and phenotype is normal. But as for the rest of the children, we say that they are dominant. They have definitely one dominant allele, but another one can be recessive or also can be dominant. We don't know for sure if they are homozygous dominant or heterozygous. In each case, they are going to show this genetic disorder. So this is a pattern of this pedigree autosomal dominant genetic disorder. And this is all for today. Subscribe and see you in the next video. Goodbye.